السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته دمانتي بكسور دوادا مدشة فرن آد أيان إذن كما علينا يا وقتنا غالية و برنامجك وقتك كوبان أنكو علامنا كيسو غيب قشن وحان ورeysi la yeelanaynaa Blair-Marie Coles oo u tartamayso Xisbiga Liberaalka xaafadda Manning waa xaafadda bariga ugu xigto Edmonton sigiska wixii bariga ka xigo ay u badan tahay Soomaali badan baana degan runtii Blair waqti yar gudihii baan isku daynay inaan helno oo aan ka codsanay inay barnaamijkan nagala qayb gasho nasiib wanaag way ogolaatay inay nagala qayb gasho marka idaacadda madasha furanna dhowr qof oo hore ayaan keenay labadii toddobaad oo la soo dhaafay ilaa 3 qof ayaa ka hadlay oo aan su'aalo weydiinaynay Eleanor gabar la yiraahdo ka tartamaysa Edmonton Center Eastbrook gabar kale la yiraahdo Edmonton Center ka tartamayso iyo wiil Soomaali oo ka tartamayo Northwestiga oo la yiraahdo Umar Abu Bakar saddex qof baa idaacadda noogu yimid oo aan wareysanay waxa kale oo aan barnaamijyo kalena waan sameeynaa inta doorashada ka dhiman hadal badan haan ma buuxsho barnaamijkeena maanta Eleanor waxa ku maska marti ah Blair oo xaafadan aan joogna ka tartamayso Blair Marie welcome to Madasha Furan and thanks for your flexibility for short time notice you accepted to come and discuss with us why you are running. First of all, welcome to this restaurant, which is located in your riding, and audience. Some of audience said they already voted, but I hope there are people who are waiting you to convince to vote. I would like to welcome you for a few minutes to share with us why are you running. Welcome.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. Just let me know if you can't hear me in the back, just like give a little wave or something and I can speak louder. So as you mentioned, my name is Blair. I've lived in this riding for most of my life. I remember learning to ride my bike here. Then we moved out north to a little town called Bonaccord. If you've heard of that, it's about 20 minutes north. As soon as I graduated high school, I came right back. And so I've been here my whole adult life as well. I met my husband here. We're married. We have 2 kiddos who go to school in the riding as well. And this really is my home. I've lived all across Edmonton Manning, from over in Clairview to up in Lagolindo and everything in between. And no matter where I've gone, I've met just the most incredible humans who have the most incredible stories. And I'm really passionate about this area of Edmonton. I have some friends in Toronto and Vancouver, and I keep trying to convince them Edmonton's the underrated city. Like, this is where it's at. This is one of the best places to be. And so really where I'm running, it comes from just a passion for this community and the people who live here. I remember going to the legislature when I was in grade 6 on a field trip and just standing down there thinking, man, one day I would love to be able to be in a position where I could represent my neighbors and my friends and bring that voice forward. So with everything happening in the world right now, the trade war in particular and some of those things, I just felt really strongly that this was the time to stand up for this community and the people and to be a loud and feisty voice in Ottawa. So probably at my 3 minutes, but really quickly, so I started my career as a probation officer. So I was supervising offenders in the community on bail and probation. So I do have a tough side. Don't let my soft smiley face confuse you. I've got good boundaries and I can hold a line when I need to. I went back to school. I got a master's in business from the University of Alberta. And when COVID happened, I pivoted my career into public health engagement. So I work primarily with doctors, pharmacists, nurses, long-term care centers, and I try and get them to all come together and kind of create a unified vision for the future of public health. And then we use that to help build systems to support them. So a lot of kind of engagement and bringing people together is what I love doing, and I would love to do that at a much bigger scale.
Thank you. And then having a promotional officer experience, you can tell us the proposal of Pierre Poilievre for 3 strikes if it's worked or not. But just wondering, you explained you have been here for most of your time in Edmonton Manning, you're from Edmonton, but you maybe inferred why are you running? Why did you decide to run and why Liberal?
Why Liberal? It's great. When Mark Carney started gaining traction with the leadership race, I really was just watching him and the things he was saying and the way he was holding himself, and just really strongly felt that he is the leader that we need right now, and that his vision for the next 4 years is one that I support. So when he starts talking about one Canadian economy instead of 13, talking about cutting interprovincial trade barriers, and really investing in projects that are going to help create employment opportunities for Canadians and allow us to stand more firmly on our 2 feet. I feel like regardless of what happens with the States, that is the right direction for us. We need to kind of take this as a wake-up call and come together as Canadians and be Canada strong. Lean on each other's strengths and expertise and build a Canada that we can really kind of stand on our own. So that was why Liberal. That's why now I just really appreciate Mark Carney's vision.
Many people say if you are in Alberta and further north you go in Alberta, running for Liberal is just suicidal. So tell us, you have been running, you're knocking the doors nowadays. What are you hearing from the people?
Yeah, it's even when I announced to some of my friends that I was going to run Liberal, they reached out and they were like, "Ooh, like, are you sure? You're in Alberta. Like, we're worried about you." But I have to say the reception that I've had on the doors has been absolutely incredible. I think people are recognizing that the Conservative Party today is maybe not the same as it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago when they started voting Conservative. And I think people are hearing some of the things that Polyev are saying, like the 3 strikes, and just realizing that that does not align with their core values. And so people seem very ready for a change, and they seem to share overall. I mean, of course, I've met some Conservative supporters too, but people seem very ready for that vision of Canada strong and coming together. So it's been really wonderful, actually.
And Liberal Party platform is just 1 day old now.
Yes.
What can you tell us?
It's exciting. I'm a bit of a policy nerd, so I mentioned I have my master's in business, but I did it through the University of Alberta, so I have a specialization in public policy and management. And so historically, I would go through each of the platforms and do my best to not look at what party they were, and that's what would inform my voting. And I said to my husband this morning, I have not looked at a platform in many, many years that excites me the way that this Liberal platform excites me. So I have been out all day. I haven't had a chance to really go through it, but I flipped through the 67 pages. I have them printed here, so I've been reading them in the car. But just every page that I look at, I'm like, yes, that is what we need to do. Yes, like, everything from how we're protecting ourselves and defending the North, building the economy, really investing in critical infrastructure, really supporting our communities. Every page, I feel like this is a vision that I can truly get behind and stand firm with.
So what most Albertans are looking for, the policy, Liberal policy toward the energy. So we have been hearing that Liberals are shutting down the pipelines. They don't want to, and more production from the oil sands. So is that included in the policy platform?
Not at all. Mark Carney has been very outspoken about supporting both conventional and green energy and recognizing that there is a place for conventional energy, and a lot of his platform does speak towards pipelines. And I often like to point out as well, I literally had the Conservative kind of statements on one screen and the Liberal on the other, and there's a lot of shared pieces. Both parties believe that we need to cut bureaucracy in terms of the review process. So both parties are looking at creating a central federal body that can review applications for large projects that go across borders, and really looking at that like one application, one review. They use different words, they have different kind of slogans, but really the core idea is that we need to centralize this and streamline it. And so to me, that tells me when we get into the House of Commons, amazing. Like, let's start there. That's a piece where we agree. The Liberal platform, however, takes it one step further, which I think is really exciting, and it talks about why would people actually invest in these projects? After years and years of coming to the table and going through these processes just to have them stall out, how do we incentivize private industry to come back and invest in these projects? And so Mark Carney's platform talks about a bunch of things like tax incentives for companies, first and last mile funds to help kind of bridge those last pieces, and really thinking about it as an economist of how do we stimulate this and how do we incentivize businesses to come to the table. And so I think that's really exciting. I think it's a piece that's missing from the Conservatives.
Great. We'll see if the audience think that is exciting. So we'll go ask a couple, give a few people to ask questions.
Yeah.
And before that, I want to thank the owners of this restaurant for this opportunity. maqaayadan aad baan uga mahad celinaynaa fursaddan ayna siiyeen barnaamij iska degdeg uu ahaa marka iyo ganacsatada Soomaaliyeed ee kale taageera madasha furan sida Capital Halal, Mareeg, Max Plumbing, Amana Travel, NSS iyo ganacsiyo kale aad iyo aad baan uga mahad celinaynaa taageeradooda joogtada ah. waxaan kaloo rabaa inaan u mahad celiyo dhammaantiin oo adiga mahad celinayaa walaashay xafid buulaa joogto oo Calgary ka timid aad baan ugu mahad celinayaa iyo Hashim oo odageeda marka aad iyo aad baan kaga mahad celinayaa soo dhawaada khiyaaray su'aalaha iyo comment intaba waa inoo furan yihiin soo dhawaada.
Thanks for coming. According to the national polls, I think your body is going to be the winner.
We can hope. Yeah.
Like 44 now.
Yeah.
If elected, traditionally the minorities are, they usually support the Liberal Party. And the most pressing issue that they face today is unemployment. What plans do you think you have to address those challenges and support those groups?
Of unemployment?
Yeah.
I think, I don't want to go digging through my notes for exact numbers, so bear with me a little bit. I have them if we want them. But I think it's another thing where I really love this platform because everything that he talks about feeds into each other. Like it's really a complex plan. It's not simple slogans. So when he's talking about the housing approach, for example, where we're going to aim to build 500,000 houses a year in the years coming ahead, relying predominantly on module builds and off-site things so that we can streamline that build. So this is a pace of building houses that we haven't seen basically since World War II is what they're saying. So with that, we need people who can help build these homes. So he's investing in programs to support apprenticeship programs and trades programs to get people the training and education that they need to be able to support projects like that and projects like energy projects. And so as you go through things, there's a bunch of just interesting threads woven through every policy about how it's going to help stimulate the economy, create jobs, and create really sustainable critical infrastructure. I was actually, I'll keep this one quick, but I was on a call this morning with all the Liberal candidates from across Canada, and they were talking about some of the highlights of the platform. And one of the things that they pointed out that I thought was really interesting, particularly because a lot of people are saying, like, how is Qaadney any different than Trudeau? And they were talking about how his budget flips what Trudeau did. So in the previous budgets, we've had a little more than 60% of our spending in operational. So those are just like your sunk costs, right? Like that's paying your electrical bill, that's paying your public servant salaries, that's like costs that you don't really get back. And then 30% is on investment. And under Qaadney's plan, it's almost an exact flip, where almost 60% of the budget is going into critical infrastructure and projects that are going to support Canadians. All of that will help boost employment and boost jobs and help bring us more equity in the future. And so really interesting about how he plans to do those cost savings on the operational side. So I haven't had a chance to dig into all of the finances yet, but from what I've seen so far, it looks very promising. So hopefully lots of opportunities for education and retraining and then also employment.
Talk about the trades.
Yeah.
Training being provided by the government to increase the people who are going to trades.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of people, mostly newcomers, who are here and they registered for the apprenticeship, everything, and they are not able to get any job. And any company they apply, they are asking for experience. When you want to go to the apprenticeship, first you have to start from zero, from first year,
Yeah.
from the green. But everyone is asking for experience, and the government is saying there is a shortage of skilled labor people.
Yeah.
And the people who are going to go into trades are not getting the jobs and they are ready to go. So in case you win and you go to Ottawa, what is your plan for?
Yeah, it's that catch-22 I think we've all experienced, where you need experience to get the job, you need the job to get experience. And so how do we help kind of combat that? And I think that kind of goes back to my earlier point of we need more opportunities for employment. So as we start bringing in these really big projects, when we're really building houses, like thinking about all of the different trades and works that go into constructing houses and constructing these large energy projects, for example, we want to get an east to west energy grid going. Those are all things that are really going to stimulate employment, so that once you've had the opportunity to go and do the education, there's actually jobs waiting for you on the other side. And I don't know that that's necessarily true now. If I could say it like that, yeah.